Yo, what's going on everybody? Xantos Voice here, and we are back with some more Punching Gray Raven. Hope you guys had a great day today. Sorry I'm starting this pretty late, honestly. I meant to do it, but a lot of things just kind of came up last second, and I'm honestly pretty tired, but I still want to at least kind of start this, you know? So, just as a fair warning, this isn't going to be as long as the stream as I normally would try to do it. So, maybe like hour and a half or 2 hours, because I'm kind of not pushing myself, but I don't have as much energy as I would like to. But anyway, while we last left off, we had finished Rosetta's main story chapter. And it was pretty good when it came to like the perspective of like the whole ARU rather than just being a Rosetta only chapter. Because again, I like how they try to make it pretty diverse in the type of like scenarios that they go into. Especially since it's like we have gone through many situations with Rosetta already. There isn't really a need to like know more about her and such. So getting more to the heart of the situation was a good angle to take it to. Again, I will say the start was kind of a bit rushed, or maybe not rushed, but we didn't really have as much clarity into like the precursor to those events, but it's fine. It doesn't really matter. But anyway, today we're gonna at least start on one of the last few floating records I still have to do, which is Discords, if I believe. And I'm honestly interested because, again, I meant to do this a while ago, back when I was doing this more often. But, again, there was just other stuff going on, other games to focus on. So, yeah, kind of put that on the back burner a bit. But we will be at least attempting to do it today. Like I said, we won't finish it, obviously. I don't even think we'll get that far because, like I said, my energy is not the best right now. So, we'll just see how far we can get. I'd also be happy if we somehow get to like 33%. But first, let's see. How much do we have of this? Okay, 17 parts. So, if we were to split it into like 3, that's like almost around 6 parts for each. Which is fine, I guess. Woven Prologue, that's the one we need to do, so... Oh wow, it doesn't even have a description, okay.
Freedom is bait. Cheaply offered, yet dearly priced by those in power. I've long grown accustomed to any obedience training. I follow any given orders.
Stop! Don't come any closer!
Follow my orders. Just like old times.
Wow, I mean, I get... That was some prologue. And also, in English? I have this on JP, how the fuck does that work? But anyway, wait, let me just make sure this is in JP. Okay, it is. I'm like, what the hell? Did I somehow get my settings changed? But no, it's fine. What the fuck? Well, it doesn't really make that much of a difference because it was only like for a bit, so. So let's check here. Crumbs of compressed biscuits are pressed to the dirt, too small to pick up. Even the pigeons can't find anything to peck at. The old scavenger keeps scraping at the ground with cracked hands, trying again and again to gather the crumbs, cursing under his breath. A torn sofa spills its rotting stuffing, a broken ceramic plate scattered beside it. There stinks of fermenting fruit peels mixed with a sharp burnt odor. A biting wind blows through, sweeping the stench away for a moment before it's gone. He grips his aching leg and tilts his head back, gritting his teeth like he's forcing himself to stand through sheer will. Mere dizziness from standing after crouching so long, even breathless and exhausted. boy's voice comes from somewhere inside a heap of junk. Moments later, a discovered figure squeezes out from between two warped wooden boards. Yeah, sorry, I'm not reading too much of like these like unfaced figures. I'm just like I said, I'm trying to at least save as much energy as possible for like main stuff, but I guess I'll at least try for some of them. So what? Works out for us, doesn't it? As long as we stick near those glowing gates, there'll always be food and clothes getting tossed out. You fool. The more of those gates they build, the more people like us there'll be. Let's Prada's entertainment hall, never-ending party. Get your trouble, step into paradise. Sing, dance, you thieves and scoundrels. Dance yourself to death in your gilded cage. Wait, what? Wait, Sinclair. Fred Sinclair. It's not that same guy who was working with, the madam, right? Pretty sure this was someone else that they're talking about. Could be wrong, though. Take it easy, old man. You swallowed your pride and applied for Las Pradas' aid sooner, you wouldn't still be dragging that bad leg around here. What do you know about aid programs? All lies. They're nothing but filthy hyenas in fine clothes feeding on corpses. And you, stop with that big talk, kid. Words hit a raw nerve. Face twitches with rage, but when he opens his mouth to curse, nothing comes. His cheeks flush, and all he can manage are angry, incoherent mutters. Swallow my pride. Then why do you beg your parents to take you back? You showed up here scavenging in a tie like some fancy gentleman. Look at you now, filthy every day. What a sorry sight. Where's your pride? Did the dogs eat it? The argument escalates. First it's just shoving, but soon they're on the verge of a fight. What's it to you? You don't know anything about me. Garbage like us, just waiting for the world to clear us out. Who are you calling garbage? Even my parents never said that to me. Without thud, the boy charges like a bull, sending the old man to a pile of old books and newspapers, sending pages flying. You listen to me, kid. A kid? They both freeze. Still pressing his hand to the old man's chest, the boy frees one arm and shoves aside a joke in front of him. The kid cries grow louder, while the sorts exchange a bewildered look. No, it's a baby. Human infant wails at them from inside a swaddling cloth. Damn it, leave your baby out here in this weather? Were they trying to kill her? As they turn to the baby, still struggling to wave her tiny fists. Cold has turned her skin into a frostbitten red-purple. Even her whimpers are growing faint. Old man wipes his hands over and over on his ragged coat and hesitates, too afraid to take the swaddled baby. Can you keep it down? Cry any more and you'll be out of strength. A scavenger shoves past the hesitant old vagrant, tucking his hands into his sleeves far too long for him. Move aside, Ping. There. No more crying. You're pretty good at this. He used to have a little brother. Took care of him when my parents were at work. Then one day he got sick and died. After that, that's so. Ping doesn't ask any more questions. Among scavengers, there's an unspoken rule. You don't dig into someone's past unless they bring it up themselves. Baby finally stops crying, or from exhaustion or the warmth of the boy's arms. Pink can't do anything to help. Just pacing in circles, but there's nothing around. No belongings, no clues. Nothing that can prove the baby's identity. No name tag, no forgotten trinket, not even the faintest trace of a mother's scent. Swaddling is thick with dust, as if they were hastily taken from some long-forgotten corner. Hey, we can't raise a baby. You want it scavenging with us and sleeping under bridges? In this cold, where we get milk? Listen, Brad. This isn't like picking up a stray cat or dog. Baby can't live on expired canned food like we do. I know! Baby's parents must be garbage. Or maybe they were in trouble. Maybe they had no choice. No, they're just like my parents. Dumped me with shameless relatives and never came back. Go to New Nihilus myself and get the truth. What? Your parents from the New Nihilus Air Force Base? That place closes all its checkpoints once winter sets in. The boy rolls his sleeves up, turning them over until he finds a patch of clean inner fabric. And then where's the face of it? He quickly pours a little water from his flask to dampen the cloth and help. His relatives even drove my dog away. Beat it until it cried. Said it had no value, that he'd never take on another burden. Value? So my only value to them was the foster money going to their account? The dog was my last family. Where she left, my mother never even let me name it. Said naming would make me too attached and saying goodbye would hurt more. Did she already know? She already decided to get rid of me? Then why name me Felix and my little brother Lucius? He pulls a dog tag from inside his coat, paws to shine to his daily care. Now Ping understands why the metal tag is blank. I'd rather be out here on my own than ever forgive them. He used to think the boy was just wandering around looking for a lost pet dog. Once he tasted real hardship, he'd come crawling back home in tears. The boy's voice is barely a whisper in the cold, soft enough to vanish into the wind. It suddenly grows louder. I'll go find it. Whatever you need. Food, baby stuff, anything. I'm small, quick, squeeze through anywhere. There's no way this world can't make room for one baby to live. Hey, Brad, you... Poor baby. Were you thrown away? Were you thrown away because they thought you had no value too? A newborn's innocent. The purest thing in the world. Felix looks from the baby to the tag he clutches even while he sleeps. Value. That goes distant. The words he held back sipping free. Why do you still carry that dog tag if it has no value anymore? This is my treasure. I always thought, even if I died, no matter where, as long as I had this, someone would know who I was. No matter what I become, this dog tag is the one thing that makes me different. Memories press heavier and heavier on Ping's chest until anger bursts out of nowhere. That's what soldiers' dog tags do, little brat. Who do you think you are? Look around. This is no war zone. It's a stinking garbage heap. Tomorrow we might not find food. The day after, a blizzard could hit. We'd both be buried right here. Who in this world cares if you live or die? His eyes burn with tears as he yells. It sounds more like he's shouting at himself than at the boy. No one cares whether we live or die. I care. We care about this baby, don't we? Felix's gaze jumps between Ping and the baby. Draws a deep breath before someone's lost in the wind. Ping, we can't just leave him here. I know. Ping's voice grows raw with old memories. The way of despair and bitterness pushing him to shout. When I was young, I had a family too. I had a kid. Life at that desert outpost was too hard, too lonely. One day I just sat there watching tumbleweeds roll past over and over. I couldn't take it anymore. Stop caring about anything except going home to see my child's face. Baby in the boy's arms lies with eyes half closed, tiny face calm and peaceful. I hurt my leg on purpose, threw away my worth, set in my post and went home, hoping for a hot meal and familiar faces. When I got there, it was all gone. The houses were flattened, the streets were nothing but rubble, the people, gone. Maybe they'd all gone to that glittering palace in the distance. You work your whole life thinking it'll buy you a happy family, a stable retirement. Is it just so someone else can add another mansion to their collection and a sports car to their garage? That's how it is. The poor get driven out and the rich just get richer. Even so, the baby's still worse off than me. Born with nothing, homeless from the start. Homeless people? There are two of us right here. We're all in this together. The fine smile tugs at the boy's lips as he straightens his thin chest. That one sentence he seems to stitch an invisible thread tying the three of them together among the trash. Poor little one. You're coming to this world. Coming to us. That's right. We all start the same. Born naked with nothing at all. Before we were beggars or emperors, we were all just helpless, clueless babies. Stretches his bad leg without thinking, eyes fixed on a patch of light breaking through the clouds. The gray layers of clouds above start to shift, splitting into tiny cracks. Gentle rays of sun filter through like threads, spun across the distant mountains and in a warm golden glow. Felix, we should get the baby up. The boy blinks back tears, his eyes pleading silently, waiting for Pink to change his mind. Send her to Los Prados? There are places there that can raise a baby, but people like us, discarded, can't get into Los Prados right now. The city childcare center is too far, but I know somewhere better. Further south, there's a workshop where some tailors live. That tailor often goes to church, but he lost his wife and never had children. Think about what's really best for the baby. Think about your brother. If the baby gets sick, we'll be just as helpless. Hey, little rascal. Alright, enough of that hangdog look. Give this to her. Isn't this what you treasure the most? At least let her take this. Takes a dog tat gently into the swaddling, placing it on the baby's chest. There. Now she won't have nothing. I hope, even in times like this, she can grow up safe. You. He takes the baby, tugging the swallow's corners, snug and patting her in place of goodbye. As if sensing something, she starts to cry again. Be good. Live on. Don't end up like us, homeless. Ping, you talk too much. Come on, let's go. People are coming out. Farewell, purest child in the world. The boy gives the baby one last look, then disappears into the snow with paint. Fresh snow dusts the weathered oak walls. Beyond the leaded windows, the world outside is turned to a silent white tapestry. The old tailor paces back and forth, stacking the finished fabrics into neat piles. The young apprentices chatter loudly as they head out through the main door for a break, leaving the workshop quiet. These stitches are wide and crooked. Sloppy work. We do it. This one's decent. Was it the new girl? What was her name again? Once the work is done, he cracks the window for fresh air. On a wide expanse, a faint glint from a small piece of metal bounced into the old tailor's thick glasses. What's that? The old man runs from the door, fumbling to untie his debris-filled apron and toss it onto the melting snow. The swan is covered in snow, with more packed inside. Baby still clutches a small metal tag and breathes faintly. This really is a blessing from above. The snow lies a soaked scrap of paper, its writing blurred. Only the words "take care" can still be made out. His eyes settle on the apron he just tossed aside. The small handkerchief his late wife made peeks out from the pocket. Cordy's embroidered with a tiny blue flower. Was she sent by the Holy Mother? Thank you, Holy Mother. This cold. Pulls the baby close, his glasses sitting crooked on his nose, tears running down the deep lines of his face. She'll be my treasure. I don't remember much from when I was little. The old tailor told me I was left at his workshop door with nothing but a dog tag. If it hadn't caught the light that day, probably would have frozen in the snow. Told me to keep it with me always. A lucky charm. So that's why you treasure that bit of metal so much. But Auntie Needles never liked me. Says I must be some dirty vagabond's child, but I was brought in by dogs. Old Taylor never listens to her. Calls me his treasure. Girl's face is hidden in the shadow of her brim hat. Or her hat brim. Features hazy. There's the noise around her, lifting her teacup with perfect posture. Pinky bracing the bottom, or stripped into a rising steam. So what happened next? For the first few years, the old tailor keeps Concordia's origins quiet, afraid it might cause trouble. In the workshop, life is always half hidden. Concordia's told to be quiet to act grown up. Most days, Concordia's bored to tears, listening to the click-clack of sewing machines. Only after she grows stronger and healthier does the old tailor proudly call her his daughter. The old tailor's room once had rows of metal boxes, each stuck with letters stamped bright red rejected. Cordy's arrival finally pulls him away from the iron tang of those boxes and the bare, empty wardrobes. One day, the old tailor simply stops stuffing the returned letters into his inbox. He loves this child as if she were his own. She was heaven's greatest gift to me. The old tailor starts telling anyone who will listen. What I hold is my happiness. Says Cassandra the ghost of her weight, faint worn from when she was small. Look at you, Concordia. Taller again. Soon the doorframe won't be high enough for your marks. Draws the chalk lines himself with a carpenter's ruler, smiling at the growing marks like they're tree rings. One day, the others at the workshop noticed he stopped writing unanswered letters, started keeping a diary instead. Cook for every day. Watch her put on the cute clothes I made, go out hand in hand. Time moves too slowly. Can't wait to see her grow up. To write this, the old tailor sets down the pen, takes off his glasses, and stays off for a long time at ink spots on his diary. Yet time moves too fast. Still so small. Just want to stay with you a little longer. Feels both the joy of watching her grow and the fear that he won't be there for her much longer. Her first steps, her first falls, her laughter. He bakes her birthday cakes year after year. Boredom makes her pester him. He gives in, teaching her to thread a needle and use child-safe scissors. Cody's still too young to understand how her arrival and growth had changed the workshop. She doesn't yet comprehend the adult's hidden subtlety around her. She can feel the cold shoulders from other children. Throws herself into the hobby she's learned by osmosis. First playing with fabric scraps, then clumsily mending her own clothes. Machines can mass produce almost anything now. The famous designers work only for the elite. Even workshops like theirs, stubbornly hand making everything, scraping by with just enough to eat. In Los Prados, the world's entertainment capital, the rich flood in and spend credits like water. Snap their fingers, fortunes spring up like fountains. Expensive suits, gowns, exclusive salon perfumes, symbols of wealth that have to be switched up daily because no one wants to be looked down on. Favorite phrase? One of a kind. They brag about how many people and how much work went into their custom orders, competing more and more viciously each year. Artisan craftsmanship, handmade excellence. That's their badge of superiority. The thing they flaunt at every social event. The public laps up media-reported tech breakthroughs and lavish feasts. The insurance industry is booming as never before, because this will last forever. Call this the light of the golden age, because they're basking in it. They don't see the tiny forgotten workshops hiding in the shadows. How about the workshop? Times have changed. Girl tilts her head, starting to catch the words as curiosity blooms across her face. What kind of era are you all talking about? Only people who see the future without worry can truly enjoy life. Everyone seems to have their own idea of what a golden age means. Gordy is the same, carefree, aware of the adults' concerns, and able to grasp the changes of the times. Skips off her doll, leaving the workshop heavy with silence. For a 5-year-old, only one thing feels worth worrying about. Old Taylor has always been devout. In an age where faith was given away, or has given way to rapid technological progress, people like him are rare. Most put their faith in progress rather than the divine. May the Holy Mother protect us, he often says at the end of a conversation. Though the others at the workshop hardly pay attention. Only a clear conscience can bring you happiness. He takes his weekly church prayers seriously, sometimes brings Concordia along. But Concordia is too young to understand the adults' murmured prayers. She sits and counts the patterned floor tiles under her feet one by one. By the time she gets to around 170, or maybe 190, prayers are ending. Daisy doesn't go to the church. The old tailor still watches his hands clean, sits by the living room doorway, using a clear voice for the departed to reach the world of light. Forgive us our sins, deliver us from peril. One world is bright, good, and righteous, where she's expected to do the right thing. If she does wrong, she should apologize sincerely and ask forgiveness. All kind souls are meant to go to that place. The other world is strange, scary, wrapped in gray mist. People there are usually rule breakers, but somehow freer. Like Bladder, who swings lazily without a care. Cody trudges home to her bright, orderly world. Heart lingers in another one, lazy over whether to confess what happened today. She tries to reassure herself, but guilt and fear cling to her, rising like cold water around her ankles. She knows the old tailor wouldn't approve. In his workshop, everything must be neat, fair, and just. The one who makes a mistake is judged and told to make it right. The apprentices think he's too strict, but they follow his rules all the same. The Holy Mother wants to hear people confess so she can wrap them in her endless love. To be human, it seems, is to be born with sin. Cordia wonders if she should pray to the Holy Mother. Should she take away this unease and tell her what's right? She cautiously pushes open the workshop door. The old tailor looks up from his pile of fabric, smiling and waving her over. Warmth, light, safety, and familiar scents surround her. Cordia smiles back. She decides to keep today's events a secret. For now, she's back in the world of light. Once winter's over, I'll send you to school. Already got the supplies. Soon Concordia will be reading and writing. School? Concordia frowns, sits back, biting her lip, twisting her fingers. Tears wells in her eyes. What school? Are you sending me away? Don't you want me anymore? Whoever turns foul fast. Winter's brief gift of sunshine is gone, placed by thick clouds like heavy quilts looming low and sullen. Inside, the workshop feels gray and dusty, then restless with drifting specks. Cody's bright shaped world feels like it's teetering on the edge of collapse, fragile as an egg about to smash on the floor. Of course not. How could I not want you? You'll just go to school during the day, but I'll pick you up every evening to bring you home. And why do I have to go to school? You'll learn things there, things you enjoy. Make new friends. School's one of the best things humans have ever come up with. New friends? I can have friends besides Bladder? Other kids never want to be my friend. See, I'm different. Back here with no mom or dad. The old tailor studies her downcast face, guiltily folding his rough hands together. He's brushing over his calluses, searches for the right words to comfort her. How could you be a bad child? You work hard at sewing every day. Didn't you say you wanted to grow up and help me? But you're at school. I like sewing. You've been teaching me. Isn't that enough? Don't you want to know how to write your name? Or mine? I can't really remember all those. My full name is a bit long for Concordia. Gives my grandfather, his grandfather, the history of this workshop. You're always saying names are hard, so you call everyone by their tools. Once you're in school, you learn everything you need. Remember people's names, for example. That's just good manners. Really? I learned all that just by going to school? Of course. Do you learn to write it yourself? I'll sew your name right here. Look here. Concordia. The old tailor picks up a needle and thread. His rough fingers move with the lightness of floating butterflies. The deep blue thread matches the color of her hair. He stares in awe at the fresh stitches inside the stuffed animal's ear. Lines and loops she can't yet read or remember. That's alright. She learned them in school soon enough. Just like needle and thread can turn scraps into toys or cloths. You've got a pair of skillful hands too. One day you'll be able to stitch your life in whatever shape you want. Whatever shape I want? The stuffed puppy waddles toward her. He is flopping, head bobbing. Where's my little dog gone? Where can he be? If his ear cut short, his tail cut long. The poor stay poor because anyone can do their work. To survive, they had to become irreplaceable. The workshop runs like it's been forgotten by time. Manual labor, no big mistakes, never straying from its path. But change still comes knocking. Orders are dropping, replaced by large factories or newer machines. The art of clothing, refined over thousands of years, is now being studied, cut apart, reassembled by machine code at a breathtaking pace. Everywhere, new designs are churned out, experimentation dressed up as innovation. Only large, intricate embroidery remains within their reach. Threads are expensive, work delicate. These embroideries and patterned embellishments are often made as complex as possible to show off wealth and taste, studded with countless sequins, beads. To build machines precise enough to mass produce that level of detail would cost far more than paying human hands. The workshop's orders gradually turn to eye-straining, hand-cramping detail work, making them a mere appendage to bigger factories. The old tailor's hair grows wider each year, his hands less steady. Most of the time he leaves the work to the apprentices, keeping only the simplest old-fashioned woman's garments for himself. Even though they have no use for them yet, he hangs each one in the wardrobe, sewing in labels by hand. This one's for Concordia's first day at school. This is for when she comes of age. This is her first wool vest. That one, maybe she'll wear it to a party someday. Takes out his treasured handkerchief and glances at it. If he can still see his wife's smile there. And cheerfully goes back to gathering stray beads and fabric scraps that have no use for now. Not everyone can find contentment in this steadily declining, predictable life. The old tailor's getting on in years. Doesn't look like someone who can adapt to new tech. That's a bit much. We can at least ask what he thinks. Everyone knows he'd rather die than switch to a newer machine. He's terrified of that accident happening again. Strict, stubborn, inflexible, out of touch, and in the way. Orders from Los Prados keep piling up. The balls and galas get bigger every season. We can't win work from the actors and songstresses. We won't get back in. If we stick to what makes our workshop special, things will get better, right? Special? Nobody cares about quality now. People replace everything as easily as quickly as changing clothes. Hard work and grit don't get praised anymore. People love quick wins. Lottery shops are on every corner. Read about the baker's kid next door? Won first prize on a lottery ticket quick on the spot, grinning ear to ear. Putting at the door hard enough to split wood cuts their chatter short. And what's gaze in the room snaps to the visitor. World of Cooked Game. Yo, what's up, Summit? How you doing? Gordy shrinks from her usual corner with needles and threads, goes to her room, knocks the door. Sir, the city council is offering a substantial sum. Not for you to retire comfortably. Old Taylor snorts and drops his fabric shoes onto the table with a heavy clink. These days, a different person in a white shirt shows up every few days. All for the same thing. Retire. Civilization survival? Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's like every time we solve something, there's just a brand new crisis, but hey, I'm still enjoying it. You're telling me, a tailor of decades, to retire? If I were you, sir, I'd have signed ages ago and sold and flourish in Los Prados by now. Dante admit World is cooked. How to play War. I mean, I do play World War already. But I mean, I just really love the story from Punching Gray Raven, so it's like, I gotta stay. Plus, the action is also pretty cool too, so it's still part of me. World is not good. I mean, technically, I mean, it's still getting cooked, but it's not like at that stage of it yet. But again, who can say for sure? I mean, tragedy at least. Yeah, because, yeah, I guess. What exactly are you holding on to? What am I holding on to? The old tailor's mustache bristles and his eyes bulge with anger. He even spills coffee across his cuff. Every coat in this town, every pair of suit pants, cashmere vest, the aprons your mother and grandmother wore, came out of this workshop. Why would I trade that for coin? I said it 1,000 times. The man in white shirt licks his lips and keeps going, trying to look professional. Times have changed, sir. People always fear what's new, but the ending is always the same. Hardly anyone reads books or letters now. Golden banknotes are turned to credit points. From here on out, it's the age of technology and progress. Have you seen the news? They detected a 600-meter asteroid with a high chance of hitting Earth in a few years. But the Human Technology Alliance has already sent ships to handle it. One blast, fireworks in space, and the threat is gone. The last one like that wiped out the dinosaurs and brought the centuries of the Ice Age. This time, it won't happen. Our brightest and best guarantee it will never happen. This glory belongs to the noble, virtuous human race. The old tailor shows no sign of being moved by empty slogans, and the white shirt lowers his raised fist chastely. Do people reach into their suit pockets and pay you after a speech like that, begging at its finest? Ignorant commoner. What I mean is, I respect your craft. This workshop that embodies an air of dignity like history itself, but even if they had smashed the first power loom, humanity wouldn't have gone back to spinning wheels and hand shovels. Progress is irreversible, sir. This plot of land needs to make way for progress. For sure, but a future. Not the same thing at all. Who gave you the right to decide what has value? This workshop? These people? What makes you think you can measure them? Man in white shirt scans the aging workshop. Visitors are rare now. The century-old signboard is chipped and peeling. Others run away with no one to repair them. Few workers so distractedly, more interested in the conversation than the dull work in their hands. White-shirted man looks pleased. Mr. Archibald, believe it or not, you're quite well known where we come from. We regret what happened in that incident too. If you just signed these, we'd be happy to get the past a bit of closure. Signed papers. Closure. That's what you did back then. paper is signed and the slate wiped clean. You think I believe your lies again? I can give up everything else but a dead person. Could she ever come back? Has to do with his wife then? Yeah, because I mean, that's the thing, is like, even if it's like you sign an agreement for this kind of stuff, it's like, just doing it with paperwork, that's not, like, sure that technically closes the case, but at the same time, it's like, that doesn't mean like that loss is gone. Though Taylor's voice breaks. He has to take a few deep breaths, because the wardrobe that once stood empty when they were no longer needed. We understand you're upset about what happened back then, but let's not mix issues. Don't mix issues. Fine words. You people in white shirts come and go, spitting cold, empty lines. No one takes responsibility. No one truly cares. Everyone knows they spend more money silencing people than fixing the problem. I just want the ones responsible to step forward and explain why it happened, where it went wrong, who slipped up, to mend it properly, like stitching on a patch. If it can't be mended, then throw the rags out for good. It shouldn't be like this. It shouldn't be like this. You go on and on. Letters are complaint, petition for years, enough to fill a lifetime. Then you already know the truth in your heart. We're not the ones who caused those tragedies. At the end of his road, the man in the white shirt pops open his collar and drops a threat. You may be a fool, but your apprentices aren't. A place like this, one spark and it burns to the ground. Be sensible. It'll be better for everyone. Someone sucks in a breath. Loose spool of thread tumbles on the floor. What a shame. We'll be back. Thread shakes her hand, closes the door, and goes back to their embroidery. Needle and scissors stand on either side of the workbench, tugging the fabric. Can't get it smooth. Line to the left and the right puckers. Fabric clutches a tape measure. Wraps around his head again and again, nearly choking himself. Hypocrite! Joe Taylor glares the retreating back, crisps on his breath, and then turns to his apprentices. No one dares meet his disappointed eyes. Master, maybe we should at least consider the offer. Neil forces the words out, palm sweating. Did I teach this craft so you'd help outsiders sell off our workshop? Spoil's pounding the workbench again and again. The thunder of it echoes through the room and makes the tools tremble. That's not what I meant. Pepper jumps in. Hey, Kato was just kidding, right? Out of all of us, you're the most skilled. Your stitches are the best. But these past few years, we get the same pay while deadlines shrink. Work gets heavier and harder. Scissor steps in, putting himself between Nito and the old tailor. You... Please don't be angry, Master. Everyone's just exhausted from all the odd jobs lately. Even you. Holy Mother, protect us. It wasn't like this in the past. In his memory, butchers, laborers, bakers, blacksmiths, and tailors all sat happily on benches out front, basking in the same sunlight, full of life. People helped one another, standing strong, their eyes steady eyes quietly guarding the pride and beauty of craft. At least not now. Back to work. Do you think this workshop should die today? Softly he wipes away the coffee stain, uses sleeve guards and apron, retreats to the back room. And the workshop grows more stifling by the minute. For a browse and a click of sewing needles break the silence. Why is everyone so angry? No one answers. The era is ending. The comfortable, steady old order shatters in an instant. Who's to blame? Who could take the blame? In the heavy gloom, something sharp cuts across. Anyone else want to speak up? Maybe say something foolish like it'll all get better? Wow, okay, shit. Shit went bad real quick. Have all members survived? What the hell's gonna happen here? What did you say? Shorten it? Again? The big city factories are so overloaded that even running their machines around the clock isn't enough. Now they want us to sew the trimmings to fill their gaps? Earlier deadlines, faster speeds? Orders kept cutting the night like a blade. The big factories take the prime cuts, and we get the scraps. Sleepless nights, day after day. Stringing junk beads. Do you know how much prices have jumped? Do you know how many lows one heavy dress earns us? And you deserve it. Not a single one. It grows more furious for every word, trembling all over. It was the half-finished gown. Precious thread snaps and natural pearls of every size scattered across the floor. We all stay up night after night to finish this order. As her workloads and half timelines fray every nerve. Flesh and blood need rest. No one can outrun machines. Dark rings sit under dull, empty eyes as if stamped into every face. Easy, easy. These pearls are worth more than both our lives. The brick sprawls across the floor, carefully gathering the precious pearls one by one. Who has ever cared if we live or die? Peter rolls across the pedal's gap. Harry can't reach it no matter what. Lumps himself up, chest heaving. Trump burns his eyes so badly he can't close them. Big brought-back demand finally breaks. What else can we do? Whatever the client says we do, they're the gods. Not enough time, who cares? Look at the zeros on the penalty clause. Master doesn't bother anymore. Today he chased a white-skirt man off and shut himself in his white-shirt man off and shut himself in the back room. Persuasion fails, the white-shirt man shouts outside the door. Come on, everyone. Having work beats machines taking your jobs and you ending up on the street. Harry's head buzzes. His heartbeat hammers in his ears. Anita, the master likes you best. Can you talk to him? I tried. So many times. He said he wouldn't agree. I refused to lose like this. The woman drops her head, tracing the floor with her fingertip. Isn't there a better way? It was a whole bag full of credit cards. Can't you only see these impossible orders are killing us? Good thing I only have myself to feed. I have to think about my daughter's future. You want to stitch it better, make it sturdier. Get real. Think anyone can ID you by your pretty stitching? But if a single bead goes missing, they'll be at your door pointing at your forehead. Why not just stitch it sloppier then? Stop with the excuses. It's fair competition. You can't do better than the others or faster than machines. You're the one who gets cut. Usually calm, Scissors now shakes his head theatrically, as if overtime has driven him mad. Looks like he's at the limit too. You're fine living like this forever? One freezes. The silence is so deep you could hear a pin drop. What do you mean? What do I mean? Clients take away gowns we spend hundreds of hours embroidering. Days and nights of work, every bit of skill we have. Rich colors, beautiful hand, gold and silver threads. In the end, sits forgotten in some corner of a massive closet, one piece among thousands. They already own enough clothes to last 100 years, from the cradle to their polished grave. Nito says that the permanent stains on her clothes and without thinking touched the old throbbing left ear. During one delivery, she hesitated, looked at the hand over the silk she had sewn. In hesitation, she took a vicious slap that perforated her eardrum, but spilled down there and then there. Take your dirty hands off. Lucky for you, your blood didn't touch the dress. Otherwise you'd earned a few more slaps. She'd never forget the way they looked at her like filth, even though the exquisite embroidery came from those same hands. The old tailor's habit of swallowing every complaint only deepens her despair about the workshop's present and future. They're major clients. We can't afford to offend them. They gave extra. Called it compensation. I have had enough. Exhaustion in Nito's eyes burned into sparks. Bites off every word through clenched teeth. Says it stays the anger carved in your face. You know she's been the best embroiderer around for a decade. But in her exhaustion, she's thrown her hopes into a pit that gives nothing back. Countless lifelike miracles are born from her hands. No one has the patience to wait for miracles anymore. Production could give people comfort and safety by now. Some are still worked to death. What I'm saying is, you don't get rich, you'll rot in a closet where no one remembers you. The world doesn't care about the poor. I won't miss any chance that comes. I'm not going to join the homeless with a smile. How would you talk him around? You come to buy this place 15, 20 times. The old tailor throws him out every time. You heard Anita. We'll never agree. They started at 1.5 times the market price, stingy as could be. By the time they came during the day, it has gone up to triple. Triple? That's a jackpot! Voice cracks her a scream. That money, she never puts their hands in this crumbling room again. Perhaps that golden afterglow might still brush them. Where there's profit, people flock. When profit doubles, some sell their conscience. Clears his throat easy. Got objections? A better plan? How do we stop this rundown shop from being swapped out quickly and easily? No, I don't. Change has to happen. Stubborn old mule. I'll give him a proper retirement send-off for old time's sake. I hope she's not trying to do anything crazy. At night, Concordia clutches her favorite puppy doll, ready to sleep. As always, the old tailor sits by her bed and tucks the blanket around her. No stories tonight. Let's just talk for a while, alright? The girl senses something different about the old tailor today. It's a small mumble. Okay. Concordia, what do you think of Auntie Needle? She's scary. I'm afraid to talk to her. She lives the workshop with torn paper scraps. What are those colorful papers with numbers for? If they're important, why tear them up? They're useless, why stare at them all the time? The old tailor wants to sigh, but holds it back in front of the child. And Thread? Auntie Thread is kind. She comforts Auntie Needle when she cries. She got some super soft fabric. Heard it's really expensive. They make clothes for Uncle Fabric's baby girl when she's born. But she's shy. People she knows or strangers outside, she always speaks in a tiny, tiny voice. What about your Uncle Fabric? He's the only one who praises me. But when they fight, he never takes sides. Oh man, surprised by Concordia's sharp eye. Last sleep, Uncle Scissors. I don't know. He won't talk to me. Girl's eyelids droop. She's casting little shadows. He only likes being with Auntie Needle. Alright, kid, you've talked enough. Time to sleep. Concordia drifts off to sleep. Workshop still runs through the night, but she's long since learned to sleep through the noise. In the yellow light, the old man looks even more bent. He adds every metal box of old letters, and runs his fingers over the clothes in the wardrobe he made for her. When he grows old, his eyes fail and his hands can no longer sew. The workshop he devoted his life to is in someone else's hands. Maybe something will still be there to keep her company. Since she came into this world, let her feel a little of its warmth. It's time. The time has come. Makes up his mind. Catherine's temper is quick and her math is poor, but her work is always the best. She was an assistant to a real designer. Bessie is worldly and fits in anywhere. Perfect for a expanding business. Constance's mind is as sharp as her craft. She never makes careless mistakes. As for Anita, I truly don't know how to judge her. She's always quiet and unassuming. She's so thoughtful. Almost as if she can read minds. Could be because of her background? Maybe she can hold things together. At least until Concordia comes of age. Master Archibald, Christmas is next month. We plan a celebration. Maybe we should set work aside today. A celebration? But the delivery date is near and the client's order's still. Concordia's birthday is soon, isn't it? We should give her a special gift. A surprise. You're right. Of course, she's my treasure. It's in the workshop are mostly out now, but the sewing machine still hum lazily. Tired bees. What do we do now? It's gone too far. There's no turning back. What about Concordia? That's what I say, trembling pinchful. That filthy little thing. A ball of germs or a dog tagged a match. Well, Taylor didn't have a habit of hoarding useless junk she'd have frozen to death years ago, right? You all know what you need to do. But she's only a child. We should have left her to suffocate in the snow back then. You just didn't want the bloody hands cowering. Girl startles awake. The workshop is strangely quiet and smell as well. Love her puppy doll is gone from her bedside. She was hurt and unease. Comes out of bed. Puppy, where'd you go? Goes back, tears in the dark. That's why she searches. So directly the clients who have needs. I'm not lining middlemen's pockets. Who knows how much they skim? Her color's unusual. Maybe some Los Prados officials, bastard? Is there in cash in later? Everyone loves that story. Maybe just the last shred of consciousness from two desperate poor souls before they die. You love your gamblers. I hate them. It's darker than usual. Goes along the wall, careful step by step. How many more days can you wait? Los Prados now opens its door only to the most elite. The very top. Don't you see? Where we catch the tailwind depends on what we do now. It says not a single one of Concordia's personal things remains in this workshop. What are you talking about? Where's the old tailor? Where did he go? Her peeks from behind the door only have her face visible, as he tells her something terrible has happened. She curls into herself, arms are tight around her body. The woman hurries from the shadows, grabs the girl and drags her to the workshop's front door. Probably years ago, the old tailor found her. Auntie Thread? I can't understand how usually frail Thread can be so strong. The woman lets the girl go, crouches neck to meet her eyes, and holds her trembling shoulders, sorrow heavy in her gait. The old tailor went far away. You won't be back for a while. Good child. Run. As far from here as you can. There's something cold in the girl's hands. The girl can only feel the familiar shape. A metal tag. One day you'll get your chance. Shows the girl sending her to 7-4. Ah, I see. They had to get rid of any evidence that there was someone else here. Tiny points of light appear, gather and multiply like insect bites. Instant thick smoke billows in the darkness flares bright. They don't want me. They don't want me anymore. Bladder, this is all your fault. I never want to see you again. Only Lover can't save you. She can't save anyone. 3 times the girl shouts. She grips the metal tag. She falls, palm is cut, and blood smears across the metal. She scrambles up and runs, staggering as if chased by a demon. Wow, so they killed the old man and tried to burn the house. Dude, what the fuck, man? Like, they could have just quit. Because, look, they didn't want to do their job anymore. It's not like they're going to get the money from her, right? Or, oh no, maybe that's the point, right? Because, again, it's like, Cordia wasn't actually his real daughter, right? So, I guess without any actual verification that was a thing, by getting rid of all the evidence, they wouldn't think it was an assassination. They would think it, or they wouldn't think it was like a murder. They would just think it was like just an accident gone wrong, since an accident already happened here before. And probably since he'd have no next of kin, ownership of the place or insurance money would go to someone else, being the others. So at least Threat told her to go away. That's still better than nothing, I guess. Damn. Find my birth parents. I'm not interested. To me, the old tailor is my parent. I understand. The old tailor loved you dearly. He loved you so much, and in the end there wasn't even a body left to bury. What do you think took him away, never to return? Who wrecked your ordinary life and left you with nothing again? You want the truth. You want to find the culprit, real culprit behind all this. Yes, I want the truth. On the streets, in the orphanage, in the workshop, you gradually forgot your anger, your hatred. I haven't forgotten. I won't forget. You have power now, and with your freedom, you're not that panicked child who ran away. So, do you want revenge for the old tailor? Revenge. Yes. I want revenge. Right, because I see. Because I was like, if she already had someone that she was living with, how did she end up in that orphanage with Lilith? I see. That's how it got to that point. Just stop paying attention.
Shoot! 早く目を覚ませ！ここは一体。シバ、ヤタ。信号がない。離されたか。
Oh, okay. Are we looking into her memories and her past? Like she'll have a clearer picture as to maybe who did it? Did I just shrink? An old tailored workshop, fabric and thread scattered everywhere, lying quietly in the dust of memories. Huh? Wait, what the fuck? When did you get here? Were you always here? See, I didn't even know if she was here or not. What the hell? Names given by loved ones, appearances unlike any other, intricately crafted memories, ever-changing complex emotions, varied reactions, and unique souls. All of these nurture each person's self-consciousness and anchor it within the framework of the self. What was that about? Is there something there? No, it was just the piano again. Listen, don't enemy. Okay, I assume that's everything now, but I'm gonna check to make sure. Thought there was Lilith behind me for a second. But there's something here. The poster had a blurred face on it, completely unrelated to the surrounding content. No idea. Yeah, why is it Watanabe in his epitaph frame? Is there some kind of significant? Wait, actually, yeah, Watanabe was doing something, wasn't he? I don't remember what he was doing, but I just do remember he had something to do in one of the later chapters. I just don't remember what it was.
覚えてない。覚えていたくない。私は沈黙を選ぶ。彼女たちの一員になることを選ぶ。 エレノア、やめて、お願い。残された時間は
Aw, it's the puppy doll. Puppy doll stitched together from many fabric scraps. Used to be Concordia's bedside companion. Now shared her own fate, abandoned in the crevices of the bygone. Rough days by then.
シルエットや早くおいでお前にプレゼントを用意したんだ
私にすごくかわいい。
I'm wondering, is this like Concordia's voice actress? Is it Akane from Steins Gate? At least I think that was that character's name. You know, the time traveling. Yo, how am I supposed to get to this? It seems like there's supposed to be some way to get here, but I don't see it. Yeah, it doesn't seem like I can get to by like these doors or anything, but it seems like there's something. But there's no jump button or anything. Weird. Yeah, because like there's nothing I can do to get there. Alright, fine. Whatever the hell it is, I just have to move on. Oh. Penises are so sharp they're friendly to hold. Fabric.
ハサミの役目を果たさないと何かを切るとか。
Wait, can I use it for something? I want to see if it's possible. Huh? Okay. Just want to see if I can use it on something here. No. Okay, I guess not. Again, then it's like, why is that shining there? Guess it's not really significant then. I guess. Oh, am I supposed to cut the dress or something? Beautiful dress as if stepped right out from an oil painting. Here's an air of nobility and grace evoking a sense of nostalgia. For some reason, it's totally entangled with threads.
シュエットおいで君にプレゼントを用意したんだ
私にですか？素敵。
Oh, was this meant for her first day in school? Oh, don't tell me
これは彼女が忘れてしまった物語？それともかつて信じていた真実？ご心配なくすべて用意してありますから。
Wait, they actually have a speedrun mode?
ここでは命令なしに口を開くな。お前たちができるのは服従だけだ。
The city's world. Talk with others, walk the center, the site for events. Okay. Why am I a doll like this though? I'll see after I talk. She gave me this bag of candy, she disappeared with the staff. We're not allowed to leave because it's dangerous outside. You want freedom. Or training. Is this when they were at that other orphanage? Maybe.
逃げようとした者は厳しく罰せられる。言葉、感情、思考、意識はお前を弱くする。必要なのは本能と命令の遂行だけだ。
次の任務はここから脱出すること。時間がないわ。犬は嗅覚が鋭いけれど謎は解けるのかしら。それとも牙を抜く。
きっとうまくいく。集中しなくちゃ。
Huh. Okay. But wait, that was it? Really? Huh. I'm honestly not really understanding what the situation even is, if I'm being completely honest. Remember, you're no different from dogs. Worse even. Dogs don't overthink. They don't fear. So learn from dogs. You're told to bite, you bite. Told to stop, you stop. Got it? If crying gets no answer, what's the point of crying? If needs go unheard, do needs survive? In the institution, the children have a few spare emotions. Obedience and conditioned reflexes are their daily lessons. Behind closed doors, the obedience training never ends. Instructors clearly tolerate it. As long as they don't have to dirty their hands each time, they're happy to let natural selection do the work. Discard the defective products. The director brought her here personally. What's so special about this candidate? After a few days of observation and interaction, Eleanor has to admit she's a little disappointed. In test after test, Discord's performance is average. Or maybe lacking any competitive drive is more accurate. She can't even read just like the others. So what could have earned the director's favor? At least the name was unique. Wherever you are, survival of the fittest rules. From the grass band, you're gone. Niggas at the back of the line and watches older bullies knock Discord's meal to the floor. The blue-eyed girl quietly picks up her food and finds a coin to sit. Playing weak, aren't you? Not a bad move. Looks over and sits beside Discord like it's the most natural thing. In the afternoon, the scheduled training begins. Finish your missions, fall behind and you'll get punished. Everyone begin. Countless parts scatter across the table. On command, the children move as one, assemble a handgun and chamber rounds at top speed. Eleanor complete. The rest of the kids panic. It's their first day with this training. Some can't even tell the trigger from the safety. Roxy, Eggsy, complete. Discord, complete. The rest of you failed. Hands out. Eleanor steps gracefully out of line. A beat later, Discord follows. Stun gun cracks, trying to flash at the palm until it's black and burning. Our child doesn't dare cry, only sex to their knees. No one's ever doubted this place is nothing like ordinary orphanages. They're afraid of you. This girl doesn't dare look back. Standing beside a girl, she speaks barely above a whisper. Is it because you're better than them? Are they jealous? Being better than a bunch of fools is nothing to be proud of. What matters is being better than the person you were. That's worth being proud of. To this girl, Eleanor acts refined around teachers and other orphans. Never loud, never foolish. Even when she acts out, she's never scolded. Only quirk is that sometimes she's hard to understand. When kids who lack schooling, that counts as an advantage. They do fear me. When you fear something, you admit it has power over you. To get Discord, wish children to study and which ones she already understands completely. People should look for things that have meaning and value, then meet death calmly. Some people's value is to help others realize theirs. She says her foresight is simply a matter of understanding, because some creatures are born with a sharper sense of smell than humans. But Discord still feels like magic. See, he's about to slip out and quickly ask the kid in front to help him cheat. The kid in front will agree. They'll sneak a look around, but the one behind won't like it. He'll... let me think. He's gonna punch the kid in front of him. The class stops when a brawl breaks out. The instructor storms over. Discord stares, stunned as Eleanor's predictions come true one by one. Can you make people do what you want? No, I certainly can't. Expression crosses her face that mingles an adult's calm but for a child's innocence. All I do is observe. I watch what someone wants, what they need most right now, what they value. Then you know more about them than they do. Then, do you understand me the way you understand them? Smiles and says nothing. This girl can already ask questions and doubt. Better than the other fools. Like, which foot I use when I step through the door next? A coin has two sides. You only get two outcomes when you toss it. Commotion ends at the whistle. The older girl strolls back into line. The younger girl realizes she has something dumb. Flushes with embarrassment and remembers the secret game to seal her fate. Whoever portrait of an old man. A bird wraps its wings. She chose the old man's face. That path led her here. The other path. So free will is a joke, an illusion. The freedom people talk about is just making limited choices inside countless restraints. They wield freedom the way they wield power. In the end, it's the same pre-written road. Boring. Mind-numbingly boring. At the end of her sentence, the girl's voice suddenly slips back into the child's tone. Steps closer, shudder and breath all over Discord. Oh dear. Is that a bit too hard for you? Every window here is carefully covered so the children won't glimpse a scrap of blue sky and dream of freedom. Yet the children still whisper about freedom. During breaks, they stare at clouds through the cracks and watch leaves fall with the seasons. One day could be a cloud in the sky, and they could drift anywhere. Almost every child has thought this. Till Eleanor said it, Discord never considered that freedom might not be a good thing. Do you want freedom? No. We should follow orders. Does a puppy want freedom? Can it run wherever it wants? Girl pictures the attack dogs in their training cages. Shakes her head slowly and heavily. Then what about the strays outside? They go where they want, bite who they want. They don't need anyone's orders. Discord doesn't answer. She studies Eleanor's face, searching for the response that will satisfy her. No matter how hard a small dog tries, no matter how loud it howls, it can't become a big dog. So, no matter how much children yearn for it, they can't turn to clouds. Discord struggles to take it in. But a small dog can still kill a big dog, with the same sharp teeth and claws. I'm the only one who sees your potential. They all underestimate you, overlook you, but you're the protagonist of this story. You're special. Prove it to me. Honor lets the blue-tinted gauze slide from her fingertips and walks, unbothered, for the steel corridor into the course room. Special? Protagonist? Those words, sweet as honey, seep slowly into Discord's heart. Could she be a protagonist? Could she protect Eleanor? Become the great hero from picture books? The lamp still glows with its faint, ghostly light. She feels as warm as if she were standing in the outdoor sun. The world gathers in new colors and begins to search forward. In that moment, her broken childhood and all those years of wandering no longer seem to matter. By the way, would it be your left foot? My guess is that you heard it before. You've been acting like nothing's wrong while quietly protecting it all this time. Princess Macri instant smile and speaks the words that land squarely in the heart. You like to hide important things. Is it because you've lost them before? The corridor to the dorms is ice cold at night. Many children linger there before bed, dragging their feet on purpose. The girl bites her lip, unsure whether to repeat those cruel words. But Eleanor's eyes light up, fixed on the fork that was knocked away and asks to bring it to the wall. As expected. Smiling, she opens her arms and gathers Discord into lace and ruffles. That familiar touch makes Discord tense up. Doesn't know what to do. Nothing to worry about, right? The girl's hand pats her back, soft and soothing. Discord breathes in a scent that doesn't match Bullet at all. Also against gray hair, tight muscles loosen. The bully's brushed aside. A harsh scolding, a token of confinement, then the instructors and caretakers pretend it never happened. But after their confinement ends, those kids never come near the blue-haired girl again. You're not bothering me anymore, but what did you do? You beat them up? Girl asks incredulously. She just can't picture this teenager using violence. No, I only talk to them the same way I'm talking to you. Discord already understands that the girl is far more mature than she looks. She only acts like an ordinary child when it suits her. Don't you get it? Her forehead's already marked. Even you idiots should know some lines can't be crossed. The girl's gentle smile smooths out every anxious ripple in Discord's young heart like a calming touch of magic. From that day on, her time at Polar grows easier. Zuko feels as if she's run back to some simple, sheltered place, even if each day's performance is anything but peaceful. As long as Eleanor's there, there's nothing to fear. All she has to do is follow orders and keep living. And the fate no child should bear still comes mercilessly. Final training of the year. Make sure you're ready. Some kids sparkle hope at the word final. The gray flat eyes around them show that words like these have long since lost their meaning. They're forced to find each other. The closer the bond, the more deliberately they're paired. rules merciless, as a part where little tenderness remains. Door opens, step into a tunnel drowned in pitch black darkness. You descend a staircase, pass through another door, hear heavy clang from metal slabs sealing shut behind them. Finally, one last door. Some children grow restless, others seem distant, already half absent. Makes no difference to what lies ahead. Complete your task. Kill your companions, or you all feed the dogs. No, you don't have to kill them. Just knock them out and it's over. Director Polar, who never shows up, drops that remark like a stone before passing that microphone back. Oh, right, Polar, right. I was like, that name sounds familiar. It's like, by this point, it should be the same guy, considering we saw Lilith's thing. Training's almost over. No point wasting resources. The other adults glance at each other and shrug. None of them bother explaining to the seldom seen director how important the preset conditions are for forging the final nerves of steel. Dozens of trained military hounds come thundering out. Massive, all muscle, some almost as tall as the children. Every set of eyes lock on the central platform, and their growls rumble like distant thunder. Ornaments of every kind litter the arena floor. Instructors leave for the monitoring room, waiting for the final results of this bloodbath. Of course, running and giving up are pointless too. Fortunately, white bloodstains remain on the platform. The air reeks of iron. Squid yanks at the chain, linking her neck to another's. Face twisted in pain. A person must always obey. Be a perfect expendable, adapting to the absurd. That's what soldiers are made to be in the world wars. Life and death are a performance. 33 ridiculous coin tosses makes you believe in fate. You and I are puppets on the stage. This girl doesn't understand the poem like Murmur. It's even more obscure than usual. Her smiles and switches to a simpler story. Ever heard of your life flashing before your eyes? Take oxygen deprivation, for example. It can cause hallucinations. In a lot of plane crashes, when the cabin loses pressure, people pass out there instantly. Your body's dying, but your brain hasn't caught on yet, so it gives you dreamlike illusions. People who've had near-death experiences say they saw hazy scenes or heard a clear announcer's voice. The moment they step into an unknown river, torches flare to life around them. The flicker of firelight brightens the space. You see people waving to you, their faces are blurred, but you just feel strangely safe and happy, a strange safety and happiness, like an infant into a mother's arms. What are they talking about? I can't hear them clearly. Still this reckless? You're turning a death test into story time? The girl keeps talking to herself. The speaker warns that if they don't get moving, the preset lethal current will be switched on. Are you afraid of death? The young woman walks slowly to the weapons rack. Her fingers slipping from her sleeve. Smiles like she's unwrapping a gift and reaches for a brand new chainsaw. This girl follows the voice on the loudspeaker and grabs a tactical knife from the upper rack. The monitors, one adult mutters that the few casualties are acceptable, but a massacre would be too much. Rosewater's brow furrows, but the score is busy building the scene Eleanor once described. Eyes pull long as she peers down from several meters above into the darkness below. Barking rises and falls from somewhere under the platform. Death is safe and happy. What she sees instead is the opposite. A cold corner hidden from a bustling street, bleak, shadowed, forgotten. She's been there before, felt it. No one remembers you, maybe the fire in your chest will finally burn out. After gears and chains, the war of motors. It all explodes at once. A blast of sound forced the girl to raise her voice. Jump from here. That's an order. The last thread of hope snaps. So Eleanor can't conjure magic that shields them from reality. Is the world like this? Is there no hope at all? This girl wants to close her eyes, but isn't allowed to. And grips the chain at her neck. She stops asking questions. With the countdown of the fight blaring from the speaker, she lets the strength leave her body, slides her left foot over the platform's edge, and drops. The fall should be brief. For a moment, feeling only the pressure of wind, this girl knows nothing. Then the pressure at her neck vanishes. I have to tell her that whatever was on the other end is suddenly gone. Eleanor. She's passed the test now, hasn't she? All she wanted was to give up. She had hundreds of chances already. After that day, every sleepless night, she chews on that sentence in the room with the door snoring, fetching all the ways it might come true. The blink, a puppy dog seems to appear on her nightstand. Next, she realizes it's a nightmare. It feels like an unknown force squeezes her heart, singing her between light and darkness. A good cry is the only thing that can settle her spirit. Crying is something reality never pities. At last, she stretches the fingers that the restraints still allow, lips moving soundlessly, tapping a melody from memory into the moonlit night, with moonlit air. Survival instinct drives her to twist her body midair in a burst of desperate adjustment, and her razor-sharp vision lets her see the ground below, pecker hounds waiting for their meal. For some reason, her downward rush seems to slow for a heartbeat, just enough to finish the adjustment. Dagger clutched tight, Discord picks her landing spot. You catch that move? Some of the monitors cries out. Discord crashes into the backs of two hounds, curling up to execute a side roll as her arm grazes their terrifying fangs. Though she manages to break her fall, the impact still forces a muffled grunt from her lips. Without a register of pain, she rides the momentum into a low crouch, twists halfway around, and drives her knife hard up into Snarling Hound's soft underjaw. Dark blood sprays the twisting ribbons, falling along the dagger's edge like living worms. Another hound closer this time lunges with a low, guttural snarl. Discord reacts faster than thought. She boots away the one whose jaws no longer work, winds the too long chain between both hands, beats the incoming leap, grips the nearest throat, and slams the beast into the ground with brutal force. She twists her wrists hard, the metal noose bites deep, tightening until foam flecks its muzzle and its legs go slack. What did she hide a whip in her sleeve? She slips through the weapon racks, circles again and again, and uses metal fatigue to saw through the chain on her neck. She's throwing every gun off the rack. Wait, she jumped out herself? What is she really trying to do? Why are there no cameras underneath? Where are the drones? Panic erupts in the monitoring room. Suddenly remember the passage beneath the platform, a route to the outside, to freedom. Someone's getting nervous. Who thought anyone could escape from polio? It isn't just that their abilities that surpass every adult's expectations. Worse than that, what's been done to these children is something even heaven will refuse to forgive. Their world burns longer than the sum of every will set against them. How many is that now? Deafening wall of barking fades until she realizes there's a single bark left. Wipes the blood and sweat running from her nose and finally steals a breath. Good. I like dogs that bite. This girl looks up, delighted to see the girl walking toward her, still keeping her weight pressed on one gasping hound. Last whimper disappears into a heavy silence. Eleanor runs over it and frees when she sees the girl no longer spotless. Looks like you're enjoying the game too. Pulls aside a blood-smeared power saw, frowning at her sleeve where flecks of flesh, bone, and blood are marred the fabric. Not elegant enough. If only there were a weapon that didn't make me get so close and keep the mess off me. Selects again, this time a modified double-barrel shotgun. Lifts it, softly mouths a bang as she takes aim. Hound's head bursts. His body stumbles forward a few more steps before dropping, confusion still etched in its movements. 1 point for Eleanor. The noise is overdone. Not my taste. Whoever controls us must be dealt with for good. flicks the chain to the jaws of the last hand, charging toward Eleanor's back. Drives a knife into its heart. Shriek stops.
Looks like the game is over. Shame. I forgot to keep score.
She reaches out her cool hand. When it palms me, Disco feels herself pulled forward. What brings Disco into a profound sense of comfort. He just up be led by that laughing figure. More enemies to guard against. Bloody Arena fades to a phantom ballroom. Hand in hand, they walk across carpets cooling into dark red. Drift through the grand halls. She's a flicker of the dark moon, the bloom of a flower, sweep of purple waves. Calm on the surface, burning inside. Disco stares at the girl leading her.
Would I one day be like those hounds sitting in your way, blindly following commands? It's not the same. You take orders from me. I'm not a slaughter maniac. Those dogs died, but their deaths had value.
The girl stays quiet, so Eleanor turns back and searches her eyes.
You don't like it here anymore, do you? It's because they made us kill our own. It's too much. Then we'll be leaving here soon.
Coming from her, it sounds like a joke. But deep down, Disco firmly believes it. After that, everything's a blur. She barely remembers the adults wading through the gore to pull them out and split them apart. Someone even asked why she hadn't opened the door.
That's not necessary. It's all for our own good, for our betterment.
When she wakes, only bare walls remain, echoing in emptiness. Metal bunks stand in neat rows, then mattresses are stacked flat. No one sleeps here anymore. Every child is gone. Eleanor's got a new home. Isn't that great? Relax. Your new life starts soon.
She wasn't wrong.
Cozy bed above the Las Pradas tailor shop. This girl runs her fingers over the skin where the neck and wrist were once bound. What's outside is far too heavy for a child. I think we can at least check this other one. That'll probably end the stream.
過去の後悔を償うチャンスをあげるわ。彼らはあなたを警察官だと思ってる。真実が知りたいんでしょ。
At first, it was that thin girl apprentice who bought supplies for the workshop. And it became those two apprentices, a man and a woman, doing it together.
They say when the big man at the workshop's daughter got sick, he ran all over town buying her medicine, spending every moment he could at her bedside. Most of the time, he looked like a fool. Whenever he spoke of his daughter, he became serious. He always said he promised to give her the very best. Wait, did he even have a daughter?
No one else around. It's terrifying. He said the fire was caused by old wiring. If you ask me, he just didn't want to give up the workshop, so he set the fire himself. It's all retribution.
I don't know anything. After the gathering ended, I just went back to the so many orders for my clients.
Yeah, I can vouch for that.
Lying. Dred went to pick up the top up for both of us.
For both of us. They're witnesses who can prove it. Fabric was on the phone with clients the entire time. Workshop surveillance footage stayed intact right up until the fire broke out.
Yeah. After the master went back to his room, he locked the door. Must have been drunk and didn't notice the fire. I couldn't save him. It was a fortunate accident. The door was locked. Doesn't make sense. The tailor's workshop is a wooden structure with an old interior and deteriorated wiring. No signs of forced entry. Body condition. Victim found lying on their back in the living room. Severe. Clothing almost completely. Due to heavy burn injuries, external trauma, or signs of asphyxiation cannot be confirmed. Some content indicate mild intoxication. Oh yeah, because they said they want to get stuff for like her birthday or something, right? No. The fire was set after he was already dead. Oh.
隅々まできれいにしなければ仰せのままに話になりません。手足を縫い合わせましょう。隅々話になりません。
What do we do? They're gonna find out. They're gonna find out. You don't have to worry, alright? I'll protect you. You haven't done anything wrong. Besides, the police have no evidence. You vaguely make out some colorful numbers on the scraps. And now do you realize that losing lottery tickets is nothing but waste paper? All of this, just for a false hope. Wait, is that what that thing was that the old man had in his room? Metal boxes with like a bunch of numbers and stuff? Sharp needle, strikingly conspicuous. Was I blinded all this time? Was that by needle? Just gonna look back to check if there's anything extra. Yeah, I already chatted with them, so there's nothing else there. Alright, I'll talk to you guys. Or, I guess not. Fine. Just need to see if there's any other things. Nope. Okay, can't go anywhere. Just have to check. That night after the tailor workshop burned down, I saw a dark figure rushing out in a hurry. The way he moved looked like he was burying something. Wait, but the body was in there, right? So what would they even burning? I mean, burying. Huh? Oh.
隅々まできれい話になります。仰せのままに手足を縫い合わせま。ソーイングエリアへようこそ。
Okay, I will say that was actually pretty cool. Just had to see if I could go up the stairs, but nope. Lots of fabric. Most common thing in the workshop, usually stored in the work area. The report stated large amounts of burnt fabric ash covering the living room floor. Someone moved these fabrics ahead of time. Oh, to make it so the fire would spread faster in the house? Why? He too? Oh, this is fabric, isn't it? The big guy? Let's dig it up and see for ourselves. Evidence report. Metal scissors found in the living room at the scene. Damaged and brittle after high heat. No trace of blood detected. With no other biological evidence present, the scissors are preliminary just to not be direct evidence, but rather than everyday workshop tool that was accidentally caught on fire, turned into the victim's belongings. Oh, did they try to cut the wire with this? And that's why the scissors ended up in that shape, possibly? These are the scissors the old tailor loved most. Why is there no trace of blood? Could this not be the real murder weapon? If so, then why would fabric hide the scissors? Not just the blades. It doesn't sit right with me. Grew up with nothing, no family, no support, struggling to survive. Shh, keep your distance. Don't you know she mixes in with all kinds of shady people? Oh, are they talking about Needle, maybe? The real murder weapon that links everything together has been hidden in the workshop all along. Oh, wait, so straight... Oh, because they did say asphyxiation, right? Or, no, they said asphyxiation could have been something that is, like... It could have potentially been, like, the way he died, but because of how badly he was burned, they wouldn't be able to tell. Damn it. Why did I ignore all this back then? Large amounts of burned fabric ash cover the floor, mixed with traces of oily residue and rubber fragments, expected to be melted wire insulation or shoe sole material. The ash is heavy as near the body, greatly spread. The heat was concentrated in the living room. Okay, we can do this last one then. Zano's grand mansion is a gilded prison. Whereby marble floors reflect only the lonely shadows of its captive. Oh right, Lady Manzano. Yeah, she was quite a character. Squid stands silent, staring at the files. It just aches. Takes time to realize it isn't pain. You're taking root and digging in. Oh, is it like files of what happened back then? Hatred born from the towering blaze and from the very moment of love when she heard her true name.
I know you've been digging in secret, but you never guessed it. They were right under your nose. They never left.
Emma walks in, Jenny takes the papers from her hands, flips through them idly, and steps to the photo and tells her into the tea table. Oh right, because she never said the actual names of those people back then, right?
That workshop you thought burned and bulldozed, it was labeled an accident site and paid out a fat insurance claim. Then it was sold in secret to an Eastern syndicate. They built a weapons plant underground and shipped untraceable arms everywhere.
Yeah, so it was. They needed to get rid of Discord because she would have gone the insurance that would have been paid out from the building, right? But that's also why they had to get rid of any trace of her, because, again, the thing is, like, at least the people nearby would think, like, oh, like, he raised her like a daughter, but it's like, it's not like it was official or anything like that. At least I don't believe so. So by making sure it seemed like, oh, it was only him and then all the workers, they wouldn't think like, oh, he was murdered for the money. I see. So it was I thought of that. But damn, they really went that fucking far. That's fucked up, man. Because, again, they could have just left because they hated the way that he was just continuing his thing. But, again, it's not like he was making them slave. It's not like he was making them, dragged through the mud to the point where it's like, oh, they could never leave. They had the option to leave. They just didn't want. They just wanted an easier way out. But still, that's terrible.
My aunt's legitimate businesses keep feeding these honeyed nests of vice, drawing every kind of pest. And the poor tailors, new faces, new identities, new names. And they swear to Los Prados casinos and burn money like paper. Even as notorious smugglers, underground arms dealers still look a lot more respectable than tailors.
His knuckles go white from her grip.
The Polish agency should have taught you how to unravel every clue, piece by piece, until you reach the final conclusion. No matter how unlikely, it's the truth. I don't think your skills have slipped.
This girl doesn't respond. Her eyes to blow. All those on moon is that the tingled gaze can't touch her. Turns out ways, moves her skirt with poise, and sits back down. so their fingers were clear polished, and page after page, and stop on a name that Matthews for. Concordia, is it? I'd rather you play your own life's melody than back someone else, even if the twisted world only plays twisted songs.
Squid's whole body shakes. Taps her eyes shut to hold the surge inside.
My aunt hates uninvited guests too. We can teach them some manners.
The purple figure leans in from the chair, blocking the mansion's ever-watchful cameras. Whisper is barely there.
Now you get to choose. What will it be?
Lucky 38. Number gamblers love because it sounds lucky. They stick with sweet perfume and cigar smoke, wrapping every gambler all the same. Let's spin, dice clatter, chips change fate, fleeting moods flash across faces. Lights still glare, the laughter still pierces, but invisible pressure tightens. Wow, so you're telling me even after all that, they still took part in, like, all this shit? Like, they just waste all that money in casino? Well, at the tables, flush with luck. Cheers, congratulations, and syrupy flattery make her the center of the room's whirlpool of desire. Yes, this is it. Sips the free champagne from the handsome bartender thinks dreamily. So what she can't give up is where she lives.
Why, if it isn't Miss Eleanor? You look absolutely radiant today. That gown is exquisite. We have the honor of knowing the tailor who made it. Thank you for visiting us all these years. The tailor's name? Of course I can share it with you. Come with me.
The girl's flawless face shines a decadent chaos to the casino. By alcohol, the woman thinks she would gladly toss a few chips just to admire that doll-like smile a bit longer. After all, what she wants here stays here. Just a glance, the bodyguards escort the two of them politely to the reception. She thought it was politeness. The endless dark corridor, the elevator's hall irregularly motion finally tells her something's wrong.
Miss Eleanor, what do you mean by this? I didn't pull any dirty tricks in your casino. Tonight was all luck.
It's the fake electronic velvet curtain face, the beautiful girl smile.
Old friends meeting again. No need to tense up. The tailor's name is Discord.
Stammering stops. Nobody's waiting until the spine spins a corner. Years of comfort didn't erase the tailor's instinct. Still seeks safety in tight spaces.
Well, look who it is. Not a nightmare anymore. It's real now, isn't it?
Sweat beads on her brow at the old nightmare made it real. It still props up her body and face.
Why show up in front of me again? You just won't go away. I said from the start, pull the weeds up by the roots. Why didn't anyone agree with me back then? Who'd have thought that filthy little orphan would become Manzano's attack dog? In the end, all of Los Prados, even when new owner, still bears the Sinclair's name. In the end, you can't escape destiny either. Was it you who destroyed the workshop? I don't belong there. I never belonged to that dusty cage. Was it you who killed the old tailor?
He stops laughing. She wouldn't answer. Rumiko can't have the same restless hate before.
I always thought if I wore fine clothes, carried a luxury bag, spoke with grace, and complained about the weather and food like they do, I'd become one of them. I'd be upper class. No more bowing and scraping. No more crawling in the mud covered in filth.
The nightmare approaches step by step. The blank expression makes her realize it's real, impossible to escape.
But it's useless. The club turns away anyone without status. What once seemed like astronomical sums to me are nothing more than meaningless decimal points to the truly wealthy. Their words, their glances, still nothing but contempt and rejection. Why can't it be me?
Voices scream. She pounds the wall behind her again and again, like splitting and dripping blood. The elegant hairstyle she had so carefully arranged falls apart in loose strands.
Those born wearing crowns with golden spoons in their mouths. Why can't it be me? You won't understand. You can never understand. The numbers on the cards whisper to me. They bow their heads and call me their master.
The long nails dig into her scalp.
face twisting into something grotesque. She hates that her heartbeat is chained to the roulette table. Hates the calloused hands hidden beneath her velvet gloves. Hates the shadowy work she does underground. She hates most that she still believes she can claw her way into that glittering upper class. You've always looked down on the poor, just as you look down on yourself. I don't hide my desires. I'll never regret acting on them. Any desire built on crushing others will, sooner or later, come back to crush you. I'm about to turn my life around, to win a future without worry. Just one more round. Just one more. Sco walks right past her, opening the main door and heading deeper inside. It's already too late. I warned her, but she still had to go out there, betting on a future. Betting on a tomorrow. What's the point? Our fate never changes. We're always forced to bow and scrape. All these years, winning, losing, winning. Every time she lost everything, she'd come home cursing. Then turn right around and gamble again. The dealers knew we were easy prey from the start. They kept stringing her along, whispering just one more win and you'll make it. The dealer will smile on you. That one win was always in the next round. Was it you who killed the old tailor? It wasn't Needle. It was me. I did it alone. You've been a festering wound in her mind all this time. I've been looking for you. Man pulls a gun from under the table and fires. He turned ragged. His eyes darted black. Will grazed the Discord's shoulder. Ducks behind cover as the sound of gunfire was. Conveyor belt holds with a screech. Sporting pipes snapping under the barrage. Right to the floor. It's going to know exactly where every gun part belongs. Somebody like a second nature there. Pulls him into the component printer. Sparks flying as if the casings cave in. Chamber. AC assembled gun knocks out each light in precise order. As if the barrage veers off course. One shot is all it takes. Moves silently until she's right behind them. Mission calls for precision and speed. They're all taught to never toy with their prey. A bloom of red explodes from his hand. The gun slips from his right grip. His left hand moves to catch it. Another bloom follows. To climb higher. Stop being treated as less than a human. We sold our futures away. You're no different. No, I'm not. Score lunges at shadow unbound, seizing the weapon, turning it back on him. Master Archibald once passed the holes in my clothes. That was the kindest gift I ever received. Living together, playing in harmony. Such a gentle name. But that name, that wish, long since been buried in the past. You can never go back. There's no going back. In the hush, she lowers the hot barrel. Third room. Cordia, don't do this. Weren't we close when you were little? Look, I've always remembered you. It takes someone strong, really strong, to move those tools and stacks of fabric quickly enough to stage an accident. The answer is obvious. Heavy, massive sheets of cloth cover every trace. His bulky body hits the floor with a strangely comical thump. I was forced! They threatened me! I had no choice. You had plenty of choices. The rage erupts, her eyes bloodshot. The man dribbles so hard that a dark stain spreads across his fine suit trousers, dripping into the concrete. She said, my daughter always deserves the very best. You can't kill me. Don't you want to know about your real parents? I'm the only one. The only one who knows. I knew you'd come back one day. I knew someday you want to learn where you came from. You want to know about your real mother and father. You kill me, you'll never know. Trigger is about to be pulled when Fabric makes a desperate lunge, wrong as he shoves it over every shelf in reach. In the cramped space, Discord can't dodge. Every bolt slams into her back, and the gunshot wound from her shoulder blossoms into a water patch of red. A situation like this used to be just another day's training for her. The bigger the target, the easier it is to aim. Everyone lying flat. The target screams in pain. A few deep breaths, she shoots the debris off herself and staggers to her feet. My real parents. My real parent was Neville Archibald Horace.
Your master. And you killed him, didn't you?
The last room is large, stark white, filled only with a cold scent of metal, the stench of machine oil. 2 walls are covered in mirrors, creating the illusion of space, making it hard to believe this is underground. Unfinished weapons lie scattered about in disarray, a far cry from the warm workshop, once full of fabrics and dust. The factory isn't usually that big. Shadows, symmetry, mirrors, years gone by. The loss of familiarity only made it seem larger. It feels nothing but disappointment. Not even the faintest scent remains from those old days.
Little discord.
The 4, hers is the face that has changed the least. For the first time, Discord feels a flicker of nostalgia. Darkness, the woman's silhouette trembles. She forces herself to bear the dull ache in her body and the dizzy haze in her head, hoping not everything is already too late.
Auntie Thread, you were forced to help them. Otherwise, why would you let me go back then?
Right, because again, even though she did let her go, she still kind of did let things set into motion. If it was at least like she tried to help the master, then maybe it'd be different, but it was just like, this was the only thing that, it was like, she wanted to at least have something good on her conscience, despite agreeing with the plan.
Is that really the truth you believe? You're still the same as before, naive and foolish. Of course it was because you still had the value.
Makes no effort to hide her amusement, laughing so hard her whole body shakes.
Revenge always excites an audience, flooding them with adrenaline. It's the ultimate form of entertainment. You haven't forgotten this place became a weapons factory, have you? Assembling weapons is just as easy as assembling clothes.
Scorsese figured out how Thread was the quietest and most caring, became the link tying all the others together. The circular machine was behind Thread, and suddenly lurches forward at a command.
If the old tailor were alive, he wouldn't want to see how his two most treasured people both die in machine accidents. Don't you think killing him was doing him a favor? It was you.
Oh, wait, what? She was the mastermind? What? Wait. I'm trying to understand. Are you telling me she was also the one responsible for what happened to his wife? Yeah, because I guess in the end, it's like they were still also pretty hesitant on using new machines, right? And it's like, regardless, they were still just a business that was gonna go out soon. At some point in time.
Next moment feels as if time is slammed onto the brakes, dragging each second to eternity. She's been watching Thread closely, but never suspected that the walls she thought were mirrors were dropped their disguise, and 2 more circular machines, on each side slowly rotating ready to strike.
The old tailor was still my master. I was his most trusted, most beloved apprentice. After the fire, they gave me what ashes they could recover. This precious little Concordia was someone who never really existed. Those days when you thought you were treasured, they were all an illusion, weren't they?
Incoming laser feels like it takes forever to arrive. The roar fades into a whisper. Staring at the bane, dazzling light blinding her eyes. For a moment, the overlapping reflections of the mirror, she sees the timid little girl from the workshop. So at 7 or 8, so-called Concordia, lifted high and cradled lovingly in the old tailor's arms. At the far end of a bright world stands the little girl, listening, pure, happy and unaware. Just of now, a bloody figure crawling into the shadows. So a chill cuts up from her leg with a searing heat that seems to scorch her brain. So her body starts to feel cold. Vision drops. Little tears like claw.
A big order for some outfit. Back when we were tailors, these would have saved us so much trouble.
Circular machine closes in, descending like a press, breakdown like it's crushing apart. Only after it pulverized the joints of her right hand and her resistance does it spin back up to its spot.
No, it's thread, fabric, or even human flesh. You can cut everything cleanly into whatever shape you need. Truly an exceptional tool. Except by the laser, a razor smooth, just sharp, surface is perfectly even. Stubs bend slightly at the knees, as if still capable of offering a light bound. Flesh and bone for a flawless cross-section. No effect seals the wound rapidly, and only a little blood flows from the vessels. The night tide rising to drown the rocks. Now for the circumstances, the young woman could almost crouch down to admire the workmanship. Sorry I'm late. Shutting down the factory's automated security systems took some time. Using her custom umbrella to flip the new circular machine into the air, it drops the EMP device. When the machine's still running in the dark, immediately go out of control, crashing the floor with a crack. Director's femur is still twitching faintly, still different from a lab specimen lying on an operating table. Machines can be dismantled or replaced. The human body breaks so easily, so fragile. The young woman says with no regret. But in your state, how are you going to take revenge? Discord lies at a pool of crimson. Sometimes I think the instinct and old training driving her to flood her body with adrenaline. Trying to stay awake and not pass out from blood loss. The first time she screams, hysterical, gut-wrenching, taps of her chest. She longs to reach out to the child she once was, ask for help. Can't bear to store that fragile illusion of happiness. Medical technologies these days are advanced. With wounds this clean and precise, your legs could be fully reattached in just a few hours. Are you going to give up your revenge? The woman stays there alone, paying no attention to the woman nearby or the killer machine thrown across the floor, as it asks for unseemly intimacy. To complete the mission, use everything at your disposal. Rufus' conditioning from the Polar Agency resurfaces in her mind. Scott forces herself upright, scanning her surroundings to blurred vision. No legs. Doesn't matter. Looks at her own legs as if they were just two pieces of fabric someone forgot to stitch together. She knows exactly what to do next. Just like needle and thread can turn scraps into toys or clothes, you've got a pair of skillful hands too. One day you'll be able to stitch your life into whatever shape you want. Whatever shape I want. What is it? To have value? To have meaning? Chosen? To be loved, cherished, needed? To exist? Why have I become this? Failure who can't even take revenge? Dread shrinks into the shadows, wary. She sees the newcomer has no interest in her. She watches the maid squirm with a touch of pity. Strange. I heard that tailor shop at the old district of Los Prados burned to the ground at Christmas. Only one survivor. A little blue-haired girl. You accuse us, but not the other killers? Its words are light as cotton thread, yet deadlier than any weapon. The mark can leave wounds that won't stitch. You shut up. Steps left and avoids the weapon flung at the last lucid burst. But I didn't do anything. Except carve a name on that metal plate that fits you better. Discord. Off-key. Unreliable. Suits your ugly state, right? We're so alike. But I won't allow you to have more than me. Bloated, twisted envy settles deeper with time. The woman is a little thrilled. To dig up and witness the nature that people hide. Nor lets the woman finish her cleanup and notices the console's 6 stock bar is complete. After all these years, now that you know the truth, are you satisfied? She ties the bloodstink a heavy air, goes in her threads, plucks her presence, so without a glance back. Hypothermia from blood loss finally hits. Scott's grip on consciousness slips. No
Sinclair stands still like a potted ornament. Just retreat, power cuts, and the destruction countdown ticks. It's empty, about to be abandoned. Play your own life's melody rather than beg someone else. Can't pass out yet. Even at this twisted world only plays twisted songs. She fights her tremors, grips a slender metal rod at her side, then raises it high and drives it down, skewing the two broken halves of her left leg. Whoa. Damn. Claw wound is punched through again. Also spasm. It smothers the burn smell. Pain takes the brain back. The nerves are gone. Only a faint scorched heat lingers. No matter how she tries, her left leg is a foreign thing. She can only drag it awkwardly. The sound of tearing flesh echoes in her ears. Pain's no longer the main concern. The pain delayed is already like 1,000 red-hot needles driving through her flesh. The difference would one more make. The sight goes blood red. She bites her tongue to stay awake. There's still the other one. Move. Come on, move. She barely passed for an emergency measure. As for strength, she crawls a few meters. Sees her each drag. Slug slick behind her in a long rusty trail. Dying pollard hounds still bury their teeth, still obey in fear, still even headless. This girl's seen it too many times. Crying only proves weakness. They learned long ago to kill any feeling that hurts the mission. Emotions are the useless part of a mission. Her childhood appears one last time, smiling under a cloak of memory. Leaves her a steel needle in her left leg bleeding hard. Please, Eleanor, give the order. Let me chase her down and kill her. Let me kill her. I'm not worthless. I still have value. I can do it. Please. Her whimpers rasped like a small animal in its last spasms. Long dry eyes finally wet at those words. All the tears she ever held back fall at once, running into the red. A woman's brow curved like a sharp new moon. Pitted nails pressed down the rising smile. Alright, I'll give you an order. But I have no feet, the girl says. Would you like a pair? Yes, I want. Come find me at the Bright Defile, she says. A place where Judgment Day can't be postponed forever. A life's breath lingers. A damn night, the low rumble of thunder drifts from the highest window of the mansion. I'm sorry, Aunt. I thought you would be pleased. You better tell me the truth. Madame rubs her fingers impatiently along the stem of her glass. The liquid inside is unusually thick. No syndicate could keep such a steady supply. Their real employer isn't a gang, it's the military. You think I wouldn't know? You want revenge on me? On Kurino? I did it for Discord. Revenge? A tired, worn-out excuse. Son has no interest in hearing it. You went into their stronghold with Discord and barely any guards. Even though she survived, she needs prosthetics now. She'll be useless. What exactly were you trying to do? Do you know how many of Kurino's eyes are waiting for me to make a mistake? Anyone Los Prados knows what the name Eleanor Sinclair stands for. It's fragile balance of power. Whoever makes the first move becomes the target of everyone else. The victory she had almost claimed is gone. I don't remember raising such a reckless niece. What else are you hiding from me? Facing her aunt's fury, the monster's niece simply stands with quiet, proper composure. Success doesn't always teach. Sometimes failure teaches better. Her clear, graceful voice flows like poetry, clearly at odds with the tense atmosphere. Besides, damaged slaves are always in higher demand. They can never live without their masters. Says with such sincerity that Banzano feels a chill down her spine, an inexplicable unease creeping in. It's hard to tell or even understand what kind of twisted emotion this is. Never mind. If it fails, we throw it all away. Things are only going to get busier. I'll finish all the tasks you give me, Aunt. Have the maid make me a few more beautiful dresses. Oh, finally I'm doing something. Damn, that took a long time.
命令よ。さあ、一緒に踊りましょう。
エレノア、やはりあなたが。愚か者、もう取引は終わったのよ。仰せのままに。話になります。隅々まできれいにしなければ手足を縫い合わせましょう。隅々まできれいに話になりません。仰せのままに話になりません。手足を縫い合わせましょう。話になりません。隅々まできれいにしなければ仰せのままに話になりません。手足を縫い合わせましょう。裏切り者の結末は一つのみ。カットシアリング。
進化から逃げる弱者にならないよう教えて差し上げます。
私が教えた技術を忘れたの？隅々まできれい話になりません。仰せのままにかすり傷です。任務に影響はありません。隅々まできれいにしなければ裏切り者の結末は一つのみ。話になります。かすり傷好き放題もてあそばれたコンビがよくディーラーを名乗れたわね。話になりません。手足を縫い合わせましょう。隅々まで話になりません。私が教えた技術を忘れたの？隅々はあ？風砲か実弾かどっちだと思う？ソーイングエリアへようこそ。仰せのままに話になりません。隅々まで切って低中虫けら風情が裏切り者の結末は一つのみ。お前もあの子が投げ捨てる駒に過ぎないのよ。
命令よ。飛び降りなさい。
了解。
Wow. Okay, but damn, okay, so now we fully understand Discord's origins. At least to how she was by the point she met Eleanor, because I was honestly thinking we were never actually gonna get it, but hey, I'm actually kind of glad for it, but damn, that is just cruel though, like, what they did to her, like, fuck. Alright, well, I guess we are technically at a halfway point. We just need like 9 more to go and that's it. So I think we can save this for another time because it's already like midnight right now. So, good place to end it. Like I said, I'll continue with Trails Beyond Horizon tomorrow. And then I'll figure out what to do next after that. I probably will just continue with that because again, it's like if I'm already getting close to the end, I might as well just try to finish it this month or something. But we'll see how far we get. But anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy the stream for tonight. Shout out to Summit to Sup for showing up. Had a great chat with you. And yeah, and I know I didn't change a Punching Gray Raven for the main schedule, but it's like, by the time I already forgot today, I'm like, I'm not even going to stream this for that long, because, again, I don't know if I'm going to do another interlude stream after this, or I mean, after I finish that floating record, or if I'll do the other ones, or maybe I'll even try some of this other stuff. I don't really know yet, so that's why I'm like kind of on the fence as to whether I put that on the schedule. Not really. That's actually what my real concern was, aside from like me forgetting sometimes to put it on. But maybe I'll just put it on just in case as a fallback. But that's what I'll think about doing. But anyway, if you guys did enjoy the stream but not already found the channel, please make sure to leave a follow. Much appreciated. Check out my YouTube channel, press the follow, subscribe as well. Discord, you guys already. Links to all those at the channel. But this has been Santos Vice. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. See you guys next time. We're out.
この耐久戦なら指揮官に勝てると思っていたけど甘かったみたい。次に出発する前に機体を整備してもいい？指揮官。